I'm Patrick Bear with IQList. Today is, well, I'm not keeping track of the day since I'm on vacation in the wonderful Rocky Mountains of Colorado. And today I'm going to talk about Clippy Jo. Okay, Clippy Jo. So let's show a few things. Use URLs, let's get right into it. So here's Clippy Jo, and here's a picture of him. You can actually go download him, and you can actually go print a MMU one with all kinds of colors, and if you really want that, but that exists. But if you want some more details, you can go to this link. This is just going over Clippy Jo and some information about him. But with that, one thing, let's dive into it. So every time you start up Prusa Slicer, you'll see Clippy Jo down here giving you some suggestions. And they're really good suggestions. There's a lot of them that are really interesting. So I would suggest, as you learn more and more about 3D printing, you need to, one thing is to kind of step back and study. Take a few little deep dives in different things, and you kind of learn a lot by diving in. And Clippy Jo actually makes a lot of nice suggestions, and I've had to go look into them and try to dive in and figured out a lot of things in the slicer that I didn't know, that I was like, wow, that is sometimes just interesting, and sometimes like, wow, that's useful. I could have used that a lot. So with that, first of all, if you want to turn them off, because some of us remember the days of Clippy from Microsoft, who was kind of an annoying little guy. He was cute, but he was annoying. He's got a lot of history to him. Clippy Jo, I think he's useful, a lot better than the old Clippy. So, but if you want to turn him off, maybe you've heard every piece of advice he has, you go up here to Configuration, you go to Preferences, you can go to GUI, and over here you Show Tip of the Day, and just click that off, boom, and now he won't come back. Now, one thing, I went through, I had to go restart a bunch and took a bunch of screenshots of some useful ones. We'll go over a few that I found that I thought were interesting. The one thing that I think would be nice is I can't do next. So every time I start it, I get a suggestion, which is probably a good pace. But there's some times when I just want to go, okay, give me another suggestion, another one, because I'd like to click the next button and get some more advice. And he just doesn't do that yet, which would be nice. But also, sometimes he'll give links to articles and different things like that. So there's some really good suggestions in there. So I picked out a few that I thought were interesting for things I do that I like. So here's one. Did you know that you can quickly rotate selected models by 45 degrees on the Z-axis by clicking page up and page down? And I was like, I did not know that. So I can go down here, click on my model, and hit page up. Look at that. There are a bunch of times that I could have used that, because a lot of times I just want to do 45-degree angles or do 90-degree angles or 180, and that's convenient. I like that one. Another one. Did you know that you can schedule to print to positive specific layer heights? Right-click the layer, slide in the preview, and add M601. This is something that's a big deal for me that they added recently, because I do a lot of magnets. And so when I'm doing a magnet, I need to stop the print there, but I don't need to change the filament typically, unless I'm doing something strange. And so what I typically have done is either I just do change filament, or if I'm doing that print a lot, I can actually go back in the G code and fix it to not do this. But that's kind of a pain and not necessarily reliable. But anyway, so I can go click on this and say slice it. So we'll just slice this guy. And let's say I want to go down here and I want to pause it right here. So normally you may be used to this where you do a change filament. So I can just click on that and now it's a color change. It's going to stop and want you to change the filament. But I also could right click on this and add a pause print. M601. Boom. And hit OK, and now what's going to happen is it will pause at that layer, but it's not going to change the filament. And the nice thing is, look, it puts that little gray line to indicate that's where a pause is, not a change color. So that was great advice, which is something I do all the time. I didn't know I could do that, and I need that a lot. Okay, different layer heights for each model. Do you know you can print each model on the platter with a different layer height? Right-click the model in the 3D view, choose layers and perimeters, and adjust the values in the right panel. Read more. I don't know why I would do this, but there could be a reason. That's just interesting. I want to go test that out, because maybe I have two different models where I don't need to do the same layer height or the same thickness, and you can adjust it based on that. I don't know why I'd use it yet, but that's interesting. I need to go study that and try it. And even right now, I don't know why I would use that, personally. I can see a need for some people, but I should take some time and go do that just to prove that it works correctly. Okay, another one. I like this one. Did you know you can use the number key, 0 to 6, to quickly switch between predefined cameras? So we can go hit my number key, hit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's just kind of nice. Get one is that top view, two of them on the bottom. There I am on the side, 4, 5, 6. That, yeah, that's really nice because sometimes I want to hit, I want to look dead on because I'm trying to center something. Useful, very useful. Another one, did you know you can print different regions of your model with different layer heights and smooth the transition between them? That's another thing. I can probably see more reasons for that for myself, but I haven't tried it. I need to go try it. There's always interesting suggestions. And also, in this case, this is a picture, but here is a link where you can go to an article and get some more information about it. Just useful. This one. This one I've been using a lot. Set the number of instances. You can right-click a model and set the exact number of instances instead of copy-pasting it. So I'm, always prepping stuff for this conference, and I'm printing a lot of stuff. So here's this top, and I'll do copy, paste, 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 right? And then arrange them, and there I go. But, what if I know exactly how many I want? I can right-click on this, and here you'll say set number of instances. So I can click on that, and I can say 9, and it's not 9 more, it's 9 total. So good thinking on their part. Hit OK. I got my 9, and boom, I got my 9. I've been using this a lot, so this is really helpful for me. But some of these little suggestions, getting more into the minutia of the tool, speeds up your productivity. So I would say, there's Clippy Jo, and there's a couple of tiny things I pulled out that I like. But I would say go every time we all got lives. But maybe you pick every few times you see him and he says something you don't know, go dig into it and see what you can find out about that. Because you might find out something that's going to help you now or in the future. So, with that, let's wrap this guy up. So, with a reminder that 3D printing is an engineering adventure that you're on. You can develop your skills and your knowledge, and you can take this in so many ways. You can make a business out of this. You can teach others, and you can make some amazing designs. So design it, engineer it. The family vacation 3D printer setup is turning out more than I had planned. I'm actually making a few prints to make our vacation better. Right now I'm printing out a chip clip bag we could use. I'm very grateful I have a wonderful wife who finds my geekiness fun and amusing. I'm such a dweeb, but the advantage for my wife is she gets a chip clip bag.